Hey guys, it's Elizabeth, and today we're going to be making banana wine. Yes, you heard me, banana wine. So here is an example of what you want your bananas to look like. They're not fully black, which actually the recipe calls for. I'm using Terry Gerry's recipe from the Joy of Home Winemaking. We're gonna wash these bananas and process them to get ready for the straining bag. We're gonna chop them up, wash them first, chop them second, and then I have a pot of boiling water here that they're gonna go into for about 30 minutes. And I've also got other various pots around for sugar water that I'm gonna be working on. And of course, as always, I'm gonna be sanitizing my equipment. I have my hydrometer, my beaker for my sample, and I also I'm sanitizing a straining bag. So I have all of that. Actually, let's see if I can show you. In this small this is actually a 2-gallon primary fermenter bucket, and it has my metabisulfite solution for sanitizing. 16 Campden tablets per gallon of water is generally what's recommended to make a sanitizing solution. And you can, according to Terry Gerry, you can reuse until it stops smelling like sulfur. Every time I open this lid, it punches me in the face, so I think that we're still good on that front, and you can see my hydrometer bobbing around in here. Yeah, let's get started. So take a look, we have some mold, that's no good. We're gonna cut this off, that part off, and discard it. It's not fit for making wine. All right, and I have all of these to go. This is 15 pounds of bananas. Important note about this, only use organic bananas. Do not use non-organic bananas because you do not want to be drinking pesticide residue wine. And we're making 5 gallons today, so I went ahead and wrote down, it's got water on it as you can see, but we're going to be using 10 pounds of sugar. I just multiplied Terry Gerry's recipe by 5 since her recipe is for 1 gallon of wine. One thing I'm foregoing is a campden tablet because I'm going to be boiling my bananas, so I don't think there's any danger. I'm going to be boiling them for 30 minutes, so I don't think there's danger of wild yeasts or even bacteria surviving after that. Okie dokie, here is the finished product after all of that chopping. We are leaving the skins in, as you can see. That's what that comment about organic bananas was about. So I noticed that this bag is not gonna fit in this pot. This is my biggest pot in the house, and there's no way that is fitting in there. So I'm gonna have to dump it in. But what I have here is boiling water. It's been boiling for a while. The water is rising. Oh no. We have a problem. The water is like right there. Can you help me for a second? With your other hand, slide. Okay, we're gonna lift and slide that under.
Slide one under.
The pan you're holding.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3. Thank you. We've got batch number 2 of the banana water in here. Batch number 1 in here, full to the brim. Should have thought that through better. Here is the water that overflowed and stuff, but I added more filtered water to it so that I can get my sugar water going. I don't think I can fit 10 pounds of sugar in there, but we might just have to batch it. So this is gonna boil for 30 minutes. So let me go ahead and set my timer. Well, it's not really boiling yet, so we'll go over. And that will ensure that what we're pouring into our primary fermenter is pretty much sanitized by heat. And then we'll work on getting this sugar water ready and cooled by the time we put it into our fermenter. Okay, it's the bananas are starting to boil. I don't know if you can notice, but they've sort of heaved up to the top against that lid. I'm glad there is a lid to keep them in there. So I just, turned the heat as low as I could. And, yeah, gotta keep an eye on that, but otherwise looking good. Okie dokie, so while I wait, this is a sanitized primary fermenter. I had actually a one-step, no-rinse cleaning solution sitting in here, and then I just dumped that out, and I've put a little bit of filtered water in here, and I have my long spoon here that's also been cleaned with that one-step solution. So basically what I'm gonna do is start adding my yeast nutrient, my tannin, and my acid blend, which are the 3 ingredients that are not heat sensitive. I've sanitized this, I'm just drying it off. We're going 5 tablespoons of our acid blend, so I'm gonna go for that first. Okay, we're going 5 teaspoons of our yeast nutrient. Okay, this is our tannin, and we're adding 1 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, everything is all boiled and turned off. I ended up having to remove even more bananas from these and put it into a 3rd pot. Now I'm going to put them into some of the bananas into this bowl just to get them away from the stove and help them cool off a little faster. And I'm also going to get them into the nylon straining bag, so the bowl will serve to kind of catch a lot of the juice and that I will end up using. Okay, so I've gone ahead and gotten a lot of the bananas in my straining bag, and this is just the liquid that came through. And then over here we have some more to do, but for now I'm gonna dump this. It's sufficiently cool to go into the primary fermenter, so I'm gonna add it and save this bag to fill with that stuff. Okay, almost there. Oh my gosh, we're right at 5 gallons. It actually could use a hair more water, but I can't believe it. This is awesome. I'm gonna just test the specific gravity of the must, and then I need to let this cool down completely before I add my pectic enzyme. For now, I'm just gonna seal it up, and I might actually test the specific gravity in the morning, just because it's been a long night. The temperature does need to come down to get a more accurate reading as well. I have enough space in my straining bag to be able to tie it So we can put this whole thing in our primary fermenter. Just gonna let the lid rest on there. I'm not sealing it. All right, it's the next day, and I'm gonna now take a sample of my specific gravity, and then I'm going to add my pectic enzyme. Alrighty, you can see how pulpy that sample is. Looks like we are weighing in at 1.96. So 1.96 with a pA of about 12.5%, although, you know, some scales vary. Some scales would call it higher. Okay, time for the pectic enzyme. 2.5 teaspoons of this bad boy. Notice I don't have an airlock, but I do have actually a piece of tape, if you can see that, over the hole. I'm gonna just leave it like this because it's not gonna be really off-gassing yet since there's no yeast in it. And in 24 hours, when we put our yeast in, we will put our airlock on. Alrighty, it's been 24 hours since adding the pectic enzyme. This thing I'm using here is saturated with metabisulfite solution. Gonna give it a stir. Today I'm gonna be using a white wine yeast, or I think this is also technically a champagne yeast. And I'm just gonna sprinkle it on top. No stirring required. Be in business. Take that piece of tape off. How my airlock actually has been soaking in metabisulfite. Be very gentle with these airlocks because they're very flimsy. Okay, and that is it. We should be seeing bubbles in 24 to 48 hours coming out of our airlock. We are going to need to stir that with our big plastic spoon every day. That's an important thing I forgot to mention. I will need to stir this daily like I did today.